How's it going, you guys? This is Chronicle Absolute. My name is Dion. Dion is my name. Dion is my name. How's it going? I want to make mention of something because I think yeah, not yesterday. No, it was the day before yesterday. I think it was. I was doing a load. I was in West Virginia, and before I delivered that load, I was supposed to go from there into Coriopolis for the tank wash. And I guess during my unload or right after I got done, they swapped it out and sent me instead to Coriopolis. I was sent down to Cincinnati. Fine, I didn't understand it, but fine, because I felt like, well, Coriopolis is just right there. I was closer to Coriopolis than I was to Cincinnati. But hey, I do what they tell me to do, right? So I did that. Got over to the tank wash doing thing, and there's another driver there. And apparently he too was supposed to go to Coriopolis, but they sent him to Cincinnati. Now, he said he was thinking, hey, don't send me over there. There's no loads that's around Cincinnati, which I think I understand what he means. I think what he means is that, Coriopolis, Louisiana, Texas, those are where the bulk of the loads are at, right? Whereas Cincinnati, I can't think of much that's around there where there's a lot of loads. But hey, it is what it is. So we both got sent there, and he's talking and whatnot, and I have to say, he was really, really frustrated with his DBLs. And it maybe I could say that he's frustrated with the company as a whole. But what really impacts him is his DBLs. And so as he's talking or whatnot, I'm trying to offer suggestions. Well, maybe you can switch your DBL, and he says, well, based off of the OC that I'm at, I won't mention it, but he's basically saying, well, based off of the OC that I'm at, my DBLs, I can't trust any of them, and so I was saying, well, when you're waiting on a load, does he not call you or message you or contact you and blah 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 to let you know, hey, I am working on this. I am working on getting you a load, blah, 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 and he's like, no, I mean, now through the tablet here, we can send in a message, and when somebody picks it up, when somebody reads it, we know that somebody has read it and they're working on it in a sense, or working on it, right? So for him, when he sends in a message, says, hey, do you guys have anything for me? I've been here for a little while, He sees where somebody has read it, but he's got no contact back. Nobody's calling him back. Nobody's text messaging him. Nobody's messaging him through the tablet here. It's like he's just sitting there waiting, and no one's trying to contact him. So he tries to call in, and I guess he's getting a runaround, whatever. And I have got to say, that I don't have that experience. And even though there's times out here, even for me, where things get a little rough, where you're waiting a couple of days, I have got to say that, you know what? Shout out to the whole Savannah crew. Let's just say that. Shout out to each and every last one of you. But my DVL, I think it's okay for me to say her name. But I think it's okay. Just because I'm not quite sure, I won't say. But you know what, Bobby? Bobby is my DBL, and she is nothing but awesome because she takes care of me, right? And not just me, she takes care of her whole crew, right? She takes care of us because when she's working on something, she's calling you saying, hey, I noticed that you were sitting down for a while. Are you okay? What's going on with your load? Is it okay? Do you need any help? Blah, 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 Or, if you say, well, hey, I did. if you call in and say, hey, I need help with this, she's on the phone with whoever else, driver number, blah, blah, blah. He's been sitting here for a while. He needs blah, blah, blah. What's going on over there? Do we need to, she's working something out. As she's typing, she's actually saying it. And she always says, if I don't do this right now, I'm going to forget. She's awesome. She takes care of you. She really makes you feel special. We just had Driver Appreciation Month, right? Where, everybody's like, okay, well, we have to appreciate our drivers. She does that every day. That she's working, she does it every day. Every day. All the other Savannah crew, I won't mention your name, but I love each and every last one of you. There's one, I don't know how I don't know how to describe them, but okay. So there's one, when you call, he's very, what's the problem? What do you need? How do we fix it? Let's go. Done deal. There's no need to get into all the little details and, this happened to me on Sunday, and he just wants to know, what do you need? Let's get it fixed. Let's go. Done deal. I like that, because there's times when I'm like that. I need this, right? Let me have that so I can go, right? And then he's off to the next call. There's one, she's, I don't know how to explain it, so I'll just say that her name starts with the letter N. but she's very comfortable to talk to, and there's been times, it was like every time I had to call in and I spoke with her because my DBL was gone or off, whatever, every time I learned something new, and I really appreciate that, because there was one time I said, I didn't know that, because I really didn't know, and she talked me through it. She explained. So the whole the whole Savannah crew, I just really appreciate you guys, because you guys, not only for Driver Appreciation Month, but for the whole year, you guys take care of your crew. So shout out to the Savannah crew. Now, I don't know anything about the Houston crew or the Reserve crew or the Coriopolis crew. I just can't talk about them because I just don't know. But the Savannah crew, they really take care of us, and they really make us as drivers, I think, feel appreciated. I'm quite sure they're not perfect. I'm quite sure every once in a while somebody drops a ball somewhere. But thus far, for me, I've never had that experience. And so when I'm talking to this fellow driver, and I promise you, this man wasn't happy. I stood outside talking to him for about an hour and a half. I had this load out to get down here, but he was so frustrated and just angry and frustrated at how he was being treated. He just needed somebody to, it was just one of those situations where he just needed somebody to talk to. It was just pent up after weeks and weeks and weeks and sitting around and trying to get things resolved, and why would he send me over here, and why is he not contacting me? I know what OC that he's running out of. I've never met that crew, but he wasn't happy. And he's like, I've been working for Schneider for 18 years. I've been driving for 25 years. I don't want to go nowhere else because I've been here. I'm invested, but they're not helping me out, And so I know that he's gone as far as talking to my DBL's boss over in Savannah, and he talks about maybe getting in contact with like Green Bay, but he just it's one of those situations where he's not feeling appreciated, man. And I have to say, it really helps when you have a DBL or a whole DBL crew that really makes you feel appreciated. Even when times get tight and they're rough and you're waiting for a couple days, it just helps to know that, hey, my DBL is working for me. My DBL has my back. Even when I'm not even thinking about it, my DBL has my back. I know it. So all of my DBLs from the van side, and quite frankly, she's the only one that I've had on the bulk side, they've all been pretty good. Every last one of them have been pretty good. I had on the van side, I had Brad, I had Thomas, he was mine, and then from there I went to, I can't think of her name. Then from there I went to Rainey. Only had her for like about a good 2 or 3 weeks, I think. And then from there I had Jenna. Jenna was rough to start, but she grows on you. So she did a complete change. So if any of you have Jenna, work with her, man. I mean, I'm just saying, but she is really good, right? She is, just be patient. She's really good, I'm telling you. But out of all of my DBLs, and I don't know if it's just because of bulk, because you get treated slightly differently, you get treated a little better in a sense, but Bobby has been an absolute joy to work with. My wife loves Bobby. So Bobby, if you happen to see this, thank you very much. But we just really appreciate her. And my wife has never met or dealt with the rest of the crew, but I definitely appreciate the whole Savannah crew. And based off of this driver, he's just, again, he's been with Schneider for 18 years, and he's frustrated because of how he's being treated. That says a lot. Like I said, I had this empty trailer that I had to get down here. And I stood outside with this, he was in his truck. I was standing outside for about a good hour and a half, just talking to him. You could see all the frustration on his face. It was, so I guess what I'm saying is, as a new driver, don't expect 100% perfection. But if you, by any chance, feel like you're not getting treated the right way, you do have certain options. In the case of this driver, he doesn't really have many options, I don't think, because of where he lives and where his OC is. So I'm not sure what he can do. And that sucks, you know? But you do have the option to possibly change your DBL to someone else. You know, and sometimes it's just a difference of personalities, right? You know, you may be dealing with someone who your personality and their personality just bump heads, right? And you just, you know, it may just take some sort of change just to have somebody else, and you guys can just work, you know? You know, somebody who can kind of understand you and you can kind of understand them. You both of you are working on the same page, and done deal, right? But again, for this guy, you know, he has no trust in nobody when it comes to this OC. And then he finally said, well, maybe all that it will take is just a difference of personality, you know? But that really sucks. 18 years in the company for Schneider, 25 years driving, and he feels unappreciated. I was management before I got into trucking. I dealt with people. I dealt with personalities on a daily basis. I managed people. I'm used to seeing different personalities and people being frustrated and this, and just noticing that, hey, this person, he's about to crack. Now, I'm not sure that I want to say that about this driver, but he wasn't in a good place. So again, I'm not sure if Schneider per se is to blame. Granted, Schneider isn't perfect, but again, there's you know, when you have a DBL that really supports you and is behind you, they're really working for you. That really helps. Someone who really makes you feel like they're working for me. They've got my back. They're gonna take care of me. If nothing else fails, I know that my DBL will take care of me. My DBL, she's got me. I don't have to worry about it. There's been times when I've been good, wasn't worried about nothing, not thinking about anything at all, and she just calls me just to check in on me. How you doing? What's going on with you? Everything all right? Are you getting the loads that you need? You know? How's it working out? You know? She'll ask me from time to time. There was one time when I was delivering a load, and I didn't have a load behind it, and I'm steady watching my tablet, looking. Well, Qualcomm at the time, looking. Okay, do I have a load? Am I gonna get a load? Blah blah blah. Delivered my load, and I didn't have another one behind it. So eventually I call and say, hey, you know, I was wanting to know if you guys had anything for me. And she says, you know what? You're one of my more experienced drivers. What I don't want to have happen is that you don't have a load by the time you finish your first load. So if you ever see where it's looking like you might not have a load by the time you're done, make sure that you message in, call in, let me know so that I can work on something so that by the time you're done with the first load, you'll have something on you behind you so that you can keep rolling. I appreciated that. Never really considered it, but by her saying that, that lets me know, hey, she wants to keep me rolling. Why? Because I'm an experienced driver. But now you can do that as a brand new driver because you want to stay rolling. Say, hey, I've got this load. I'll be there by this time. I should be done by this time. Do you guys have something for me potentially behind me? You know, do that, you know, do it. Because we're supposed to stay rolling. Now, granted, there's times when we aren't rolling, right? There's times when just due to where you're at, I'm in Reserve, there's no lows. I'm in Coraopolis, Pennsylvania, there's no lows. I'm in Houston, Texas, which is weird, but there's no lows, you know? But hey, sometimes that happens. Sometimes you're sitting down for 1 to 2 days, maybe even 3 days sometimes. It just depends on what's going on and where you're at and blah, 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 you know? Do you have TWIC? Do you have hazmat? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, it just really helps to know that I've got a DBL that really is looking out for me. And in this case, this driver, he didn't feel like that. And I feel so sorry for him. It got to the point where I was thinking about giving him my load. I was thinking about going in, messaging in, say, hey, can you guys just give this driver my load? It was 863 mile run or something like that, whatever. Just driving it empty from Cincinnati down to Reserve. And I figured, you know what? I think I'll just give him my load. You know, I thought about it. I was really going to do it because he was so frustrated. He's like, you know, I've been sitting around, and now in this case, he hadn't been sitting around for a couple of days, but it had happened in the past, and he was just so frustrated because it's like, you know, he's looking at all these Schneider trucks coming in to the tank wash, and everybody's leaving, and he's the only one there that doesn't have a load, you know, and it sucks. And he's looking at his tablet, waiting on somebody to contact him. He's calling, trying to contact somebody just so that he has some sort of a something to let him know that, hey, we are working on you, and he's not getting that, and that sucks. I don't have that problem. It probably happens from time to time, but it's rare. But for him, it sounded like it was happening all the time. And that's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. So, like I said, I managed before. I managed problems. I managed people. I managed situations. I managed upwards to on a rough day. And we're I'm talking like Christmas and Thanksgiving. Maybe 50 to 75 people in one day. Right, managing breaks and going home and all this kind of stuff, you know, managing customers. So I sometimes might have a tendency to kind of pop back into that role and say things that, you know, is more stronger, I guess, you know. But for what he was going through, that's really unfortunate, and that cannot happen because we as drivers, we're the ones on the road. We're the ones that's dealing face to face with these customers. We're the ones that are, you know, we're the ones sitting down, waiting for a load, you know, whereas the ones that are in the office, whether it be our I mean, not really saying our DBLs, but well, yeah, DBLs or even Green Bay. I mean, I'm not poking at you know, anyone specifically, but, you know, we're the ones out here dealing with this, you know. So don't wait for Driver Appreciation Month to make us feel appreciated. Do it year round, you know? Do it year round. Schneider is really good overall in taking care of their drivers. They're not perfect, but they're really good overall. But for his situation, it's a specific OC. Again, I can't say anything about it because I don't know. But apparently, I mean, after 18 years, 18 years. He's an experienced driver. 18 years. Why does he have to go through that? Now I just know his side of the story. So, but something's wrong with that picture. Something's wrong with that picture. After 18 years. 18 years, man. 18 years. He's got seniority in this company. 18 years. Why is he going through that? And that makes no sense to me. It doesn't. So that's the manager side of me coming out. So anyway, so as a new driver, I don't know. I guess I'm not really saying this as a new driver kind of thing. Anyway, just something just to get out there. Whether you're a DBL, whether you work in Green Bay, whether you're a driver, it just always helps just to treat everybody with respect. Don't play with people. It just helps just to treat everybody with respect. Really take care of them. So again, shout out to the Savannah Crew. Shout out to my DBL, Bobby. I really appreciate you. My wife really appreciates you. Shout out to Mr. Parker as well, you know, because you, I mean, the stories that I've heard and what I've seen firsthand, they're all true. You really take care of your drivers, and we really appreciate that, you know. And it's probably rare that somebody mentions you, but I definitely appreciate you. So anyway, thanks you guys for watching. As with everything else, be safe in all that you do. Bye.